Jones on CNN afterwards saying, this is the rise of an American demagogue who's going to live 50 years longer than Trump. This is dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the up.
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome to the Standard of Truth podcast, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. Y'all, do you want to see a candidate that can just drive the Democrats nuts? Probably as much and make them just as much deranged as former President Donald J. Trump. Well, I've got something for you. There is such a candidate that can bring the smoke and the pain and make the Democrats squirm and just start tweaking like nobody's business. That candidate, my friends, is Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy enters the building. Listen, my guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, Vivek is that dude. Like, when I say that dude, Vivek is a brilliant and talented business mogul. But the thing about Vivek is he has a spine. Like, in this world, this culture of just mealy mouth, mammy-pammy men, and like, I don't want to sing, I don't want to offend. Like, let's just say it together. Vivek has a spine, okay? The GOP, they would be smart to keep their eyes on Vivek Ramaswamy because, one, first of all, Vivek is never scared. Y'all, I want y'all to take a listen to this.
If you want somebody who's going to speak truth to power, then vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you. Why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job? That the government lied to us for 20 years about Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory, but a basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform. That the 2020 election was indeed stolen by big tech. That the 2016 election, the one that Trump won for sure, was also one that was stolen from him by the national security establishment that actually put up the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that they knew was false. There's a reason why I'm the only person on the stage who can say these things. That's what it's going to take, not people who are licking his boots one time and now Monday morning quarterbacking and criticizing him when it's convenient.
You guys, I am so glad that Vivek Ramaswamy is actually in this race. And I am so glad that he has that you kiss my behind where the sun don't shine kind of money, right? Because Vivek represents a movement. I understand people think, well, he's not going to get enough votes to win the Republican nomination, and that's fine. But what Vivek has done, he represents a movement. Vivek represents a movement where we're speaking and hearing inconvenient truths might hurt, but it's good for the soul, and it is good for this nation. We actually need more Vivek Ramaswamys. We need more men who will boldly declare that this country has been lying to its citizens for decades, right? Like we've been lied to. We were lied to, and we're still being lied to, particularly about very important matters like COVID or what happened on January 6th or what happened on September 11th. We were lied to and are still being lied to about what happened in so many of these events, right? We're still being lied to about the Nashville trans shooter. Right? We were being lied to then, and we're being lied to now about the details surrounding George Floyd and Tamar Rice and Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin. The lies are simply too many to count, and people are tired. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to share a video with you guys that when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is precisely what is wrong with men today and why masculinity there's just a shortage of masculinity. Now, I am not shy about who I am and what my values are anybody who knows me knows that I despise leftism, right? Like, I call them lefticals. I don't like leftism because it just represents everything that is wrong with this country. And leftism, just in general, it's just an anti-God platform. However, I'm scrolling on my timeline and I see this clip of CNN contributor Van Jones. Now, this is the same dude that was crying like a little girl when President Trump lost, allegedly, the last election and President Joe Biden won. Just take a look at this masculinity on display.
Thoughts? It's well, it's easier to be a parent this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. It's a vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, the I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe. Every day you're waking up and you're getting these tweets and you just don't know, and you're going to the store and people who have been afraid to show their racism are getting nastier and nastier to you, and you're worried about your kids and you're worried about your sister. And can she just go to Walmart and get back into her car without somebody saying something to her? And you spent so much of your life energy just trying to hold it together. And this is a big deal for us just to be able to get some peace and have a chance for a reset. And the character of the country matters. And being a good...
Oh, cry me a river. I mean, seriously? This whole grown man, I showed you this clip. This is a flashback clip of a whole grown man literally crying on air because Joe Biden won. And he said a couple of things. He was like, you know, this is vindication for a lot of people. Because, you know, people are going to the store and, you know, they're just, listen. You know who's struggling right now? I'm wondering if he reflects back on those words and cares the least bit about all of the Americans who literally are going to the store, and I'm not worried about mean tweets right now. They're literally putting things on the conveyor belt and they're looking at the cash register just go up and up and up, and they're like, you know what? I got to take some things off because this is ridiculous. I ran in here to get a few things and I've already spent $100 and I can't even put together a whole meal with everything that I just put on here. This man is whining and crying like a little girl. And listen, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that men can't cry. But if a man is crying, you better be crying because you are in some legitimate pain, or there is something so detrimental that has happened to you that it warrants crying. This was not an opportunity to warrant your tears. Oh my, you know, people can't breathe. They just couldn't catch a break. This is what's wrong with this country. I am so tired of weak, jelly-back, soy boy, latte, oat milk, foam sipping, pinky in the air, rocking black men. Like, this is disgraceful. Van Jones is that dude. Like, how does this man sleep at night? Caping so hard for Democrats, right? Like, this dude was crying when, like, real tears, when Joe Biden won the presidency. And now we have him crying and whining about another candidate. Y'all, take a look at this.
And the smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous, because he won't stop Trump but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk, because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
You actually want us to believe that you were just shaking listening to Vivek speak? I do. This man indicates that Vivek Ramaswamy is more dangerous than a Nazi. You guys, I am so glad that Vivek Ramaswamy is actually in this race. And I am so glad that he has that you kiss my behind where the sun don't shine kind of money. And do you know what's more dangerous and more effective than people who are tired? People who are filthy rich and have FU money, right? Like people like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, men with brains and brawn and the guts to stand up and say, F you. I don't advocate, right, for profane speech, okay? I understand there's a time and place and everything, and as a Christian, right, I'm not advocating that we walk around and tell people F you, because I don't encourage the use of expletives, and if I were in Vivek's shoes at that moment, I wouldn't have used such a word. But here's the thing, I'm not Vivek, right? And his FU hit just a little bit different, and it needed to be said. So basically what happened, there was a Turning Point USA event, and after Van Jones accused Vivek Ramaswamy of being this demagogue and likening him to Nazis, right? Vivek did a speech at this event, and this is what Vivek had to say.
Van Jones on CNN afterwards saying, this is the rise of an American demagogue who's going to live 50 years longer than Trump. This is dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the up. At a certain point, just shut the up. Van Jones at CNN. We're done with it.
Y'all, that FU hit just a little bit different. It did. Like, I'm not going to lie. I woke up that next morning and I saw this clip and I was running through my kitchen like yo, it was insane. I went bananas. You know why? Because this needed to be said. Democrats hate Vivek because he has FU money. Trump has FU money. Elon has FU money. And that's what makes them so mad, because they can't control these men. And that's why the left hates them. Like Elon Musk told all of those woke advertisers who thought that they could force his hand pertaining to censorship on the X platform. He told them, like, F you. And I'm glad that he did. Now, once again, I'm not advocating for God's people to go around and tell people F you. Like, that's just not polite, right? That's not, walking in the spirit and exercising self-control over your lips. Like, I get that. But what I am doing, when I'm providing cultural commentary on this situation, I can suggest we need to stand up and combat lies with the truth. And we need to hold we need to hold the truth so tight and hold on tight to our convictions regarding what is true, that we will stand up and speak that truth no matter how much it costs, no matter how much social capital we lose of being approved by the world or by the donor class or by corporate bureaucrats. Like, it is just about time that someone from the millennial generation just stands up and says, listen, y'all just need to step aside and let us handle it. Right? Let us step into our rightful place. If the GOP doesn't wake up and pay attention to how Vivek Ramaswamy is moving and gaining headway with the younger generation, they are going to miss a prime opportunity to reach mass appeal and stimulate growth for the party, because they're trying to use old tricks, and it's a new day, right? It's just a completely new day. And so when I heard Vivek Ramaswamy on that America Fest stage basically tell Van Jones, listen, F you and the horse that you rode in here on, I lost it. Me and my husband both were like, I'm talking. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And hear me clearly, I am a Christian content creator providing commentary on a political matter that is impacting our culture in a major way. Right? Now, some of y'all use language way more perverse than that in your everyday life. I'm not advocating that we speak this way. What I am doing is saying, you know what? I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what Vivek said to Van Jones, because he needs to just shut up and be quiet. First of all, he's out here lying. All the left does is lie like a rug lie. Like, why would you make such an inflammatory statement to imply that Vivek Ramaswamy is like a Nazi? Like, where do you see that type of energy calling for mass genocide or something else crazy and extreme from Vivek Ramaswamy? Right? First of all, he doesn't do identity politics. That's what y'all do on the left, Van Jones. Vivek Ramaswamy is literally trying to revive our national identity, which is not based on dermal features. It is based on the fact that all different ethnicities live in this country, and we want to live under the Constitution, and we want to be patriotic again. We want to love our country, not hate and try to destroy it from within. And all that whining and crying you was doing on election night, well, now people really are crying, like real tears, not those fake, faux crocodile tears you were crying off of the fact that somebody hurt your feelings. Right? People are really crying. Every time they go to the grocery store, they are crying. Every time they have to write their rent check, they are crying. Every time a family considers the thought of being a homeowner as an American, they are crying. The interest rates are out of control. Inflation is out of control. Wages are stagnant. The country's border is wide open. Crime is out of control. You better believe it. Many people are out here. We are whining and we are crying, but for legitimate reason. Not because of this fake outrage, because somebody tweeted something that we didn't like. Talking about people just going to the grocery store, worried about if somebody's just gonna say. Ain't nobody saying nothing to nobody at the grocery store. Am I saying that racism is abolished? No. But I'm about to say something, and it's going to cause some smoke, and guess what? I don't care. Most white people I know, they've become so timid and so afraid to say anything because they don't know what's going to set off the next woke blackity black person. They don't say anything. They can literally see something wrong and unjust being done in front of them. Let's say, for example, a person of color decides they want to manhandle and skip the line. The average white person will not speak up for what is right and say, hey, that's wrong. You know, you weren't next. This person was next. Or, hey, I was next. You just jumped in front of me. They won't say anything. Why? Because they know your ignorant behind gonna show your tail in public, cry racism, and a white person is like, I'm not about to lose everything that I've worked for because this person wants to be the next village idiot. That's just a fact. Most white people are not being overly aggressive and acting like white supremacists out in the open because it ain't worth it. Your whole livelihood can be snatched in the blink of an eye. If you don't even have to say anything with ethnic partiality. You can just speak the unadulterated truth by saying there is a lot of crime in the inner city. Because you use the word inner city or because you use urban, that must be a dog whistle for black folk. Negro, you know there's a lot of crime where you live. But because a white person said it, now all of a sudden it's a problem. So this whole idea that people are afraid to go to the Walmart because some white person might say something to them, that is, you're full of it. You're a liar and you need to be called out for that. Because nobody has more privilege in 2023 than a black woman in America today. Flat out. Because ain't nobody checking them. Nobody's checking these out of control, disrespectful, I do what I want to do, and you're going to bow down to me, black women with an attitude. Nobody is going to check them because they're the ones that are sitting in a place of privilege. But it's short-lived because once they are done with you, they will discard you like they always do. So, at the end of the day, I thought Vivek's statements and comments in regards to Van Jones, I thought it was brave of him and he spoke the truth. Would I have used a different word? Absolutely, right? Like, in a corrupt speech, I'm not about to cuss somebody out on the stage. Vivek ain't a Christian. He a Hindu. He said what he said and he said it with his chest. And I'm glad he did. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think Vivek's comments were out of line and out of control? Or do you believe right now in the political climate we're in, where the left gets to say whatever they want and without, impunity, and they get to speak and say and act however they want? Was it refreshing to you to see someone on the right just stand up for themselves and tell somebody where to go and how to get there? Or if you felt that wasn't very presidential of you, Vivek, and I can't vote for you because you have a potty mouth. Like, listen, we're adults here. Van Jones needed to be told. Now, I wouldn't have said F you or shut the F up. Now, I probably would have said shut the hell up. Like, I probably would have said hell, but I wouldn't have gone as far as said the F word. But I approve the message. Y'all take care. Grace and peace. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.